so far away, people are saving hundreds on the most reliable network with Xfinity Mobile. And they live happily ever after.
Again! Again! Over the years, Pixar has given us plenty of reasons to watch their movies, be it their stunning animation, brilliant storytelling, and timeless characters. But that last point also extends into another great thing about Pixar, its villains.
We're friends now!
Next to Disney's own Rogues Gallery, Pixar has one of the best villains rosters ever imagined, and are still capable of pushing the envelope 25 years later.
So clean. Nice.
But what happens when you put this collection of supervillains, terrorists, and spiteful commentators in the same room? Some will rise up as the apex of Pixar villainy, and others won't even seem that bad in comparison.
Listen, don't you worry, pal. You had a good run.
So, let's find out. I'm Kyle with Wiki Binge, and this is Pixar Villains, Evil to Most Evil.
And I'll silence anyone who gets in my way.
Okay, so considering the wide scope of baddies across Pixar's library, it's vital that we establish some rules. We're going to be focusing almost exclusively on main antagonists from each movie, only including a few secondary antagonists if they have enough of an impact on the plot. For example, we're not going to include Zurg and Utility Belt Buzz from Toy Story 2. Because they're very minor obstacles in the bigger picture of that movie. It's also worth noting that not every movie has a main antagonist. To elaborate, neither Finding Dory or Inside Out have a central bad guy, so we're just going to go ahead and avoid those two movies for the sake of this list. We'll be judging villains based on negative character traits, their list of crimes, their evil plans, and their body count, if they have one. Starting out on the less evil side, we have the only character on this list who we would argue is actually a good man, Dr. Sherman, the dentist from Finding Nemo.
Hello, little fella.
In the confines of the movie, we can certainly see why we're not supposed to like the guy. From the perspective of Marlin, he's a kidnapper, and from the perspective of the Tank Gang, he's an obstacle that constantly finds a way to ruin their escape plans. With context, however, there's not much to fault him for. From his perspective, he saved Nemo thinking that he was struggling for life outside the reef. He's a good dentist, a responsible pet owner who genuinely cares and shows concern for his fish, and really, who wouldn't react the way he does if a pelican barged into your room the way Nigel did? The worst thing that we can say about the guy is that he has no issues giving fish as a present to his incapable niece. But even then, you could argue he's just trying to be a nice uncle. Really, if Sherman knew that fish were truly sentient, we believe that he would let the fish go in a heartbeat. Okay, on to some actual bad characters. The first of which is Team Roar Omega Roar from Monsters University.
Release the stuffed animals.
No college film with a battle of the fraternities would be complete without the stereotypical popular, preppy, but downright nasty frat squad, and that describes these guys perfectly.
Oh, sorry, killer, but you might want to hang out with someone a little more your speed.
They act as the rival team to Uzma Kappa and consist of some of Monster University's best and brightest scarers.
After you lose, no one will remember you.
That said, they aren't that evil. Barring some standard jerk behavior, which is pretty tame by the standards of this list, the worst thing that they do is publicly humiliate OK in an attempt